In the far future, faster-than-light travel is possible via portals called stiffworks. Human and alien civilizations travel this way for millennia. Trade, war, and technology proliferate. Countless societies rise, thrive, fall, and vanish. Eventually, almost everyone forgets the secrets of the stiffworks. Almost. 300 years ago, the worshipful company of Stillfleeters is formed on Spindle, a space station of unknown origin. They send fleeters into the void using stiffworks in search of profit. It is 100 million years in the future. Welcome to Float City.
Previously on Float City, the crew collects the mysterious, ever-shifting Vasilar multi-object and a bunch more plunder from the estate of the boss, Anverder Asa Lehrer. In the process, they release a bevy of terrifying goons from the Anvader's own prison, and also Oat, a Harajoon in a tuxedo. A freed Ilithnari warrior fights the Anvader to mutual death, and a freed Void Elf transports early 21st century pharmacies into a nearby town. He is dispatched for such savagery. The team is then told the Saffron Anox, the planet's trade lord, would like audience on account of the mayhem they've caused. The Anox, who has a partnership with the company, tells the team a co-archivist, Zeshdano Novell, is blocking a trade agreement of his with Kakudun. He asks them to find out why. Otherwise, he'll break his 3-century contract with the worshipful company and blame their meddling excursion. They're led away from the Anox's court and tacked home by his reverent Deva, Shasho. We join the team now as they arrive in the near bays of Spindle, much worse for wear, carrying more mysterious alien goods than they've ever seen before, and knowing they need to figure out what, if anything, they're gonna tell their boss, Algar.
Merkis is touching his fingers to each other and going, should we meet up in the morning somewhere? Because I'm not very good at lying.
Yeah, we should probably meet up in the morning and figure out a plan.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Where should we go? I live with my brother, Marcos.
Okay, well, we can meet in the canteen. That seems also reasonable.
Sounds good to me. Canteen in 12 hours?
Canteen in 12 hours.
Okay.
Great. Mike, how is Grit recovered again?
Yeah, so if you guys all go on a rest and you chill out, then you can roll D-Will plus D-Move plus your level, which is 1.
Oh.
And you get to distribute that number however you like between grit and health.
Okay.
This is called regaining pool, and pool is just like your points that determine how healthy you are. And Oat should do the same.
Yeah, sure. And no one asked what Oat was doing, but I'll tell you, he just vanished. 1 second he's there, and the next, perhaps you see a little bit of his wings or fur flit around a corner, and he's gone.
Beta's still assuming that Oat is going to move in with her, so she does kind of set up an area for him in her pod, just in case.
The Oat area. You're all going back to your room blobs to have a little rest before you meet up and talk about the things that you have. Could everybody describe what their room blob is like? And to just give you a sense, generally what like Stillfleet room blobs are like, they're like tiny caves that are carved into this weird black rock that is Spin. It is very hard to install doors in Spin because the rock is so hard and all of the walls are curved. So most rooms are separated by like plastic sheet or colored rope or like other things like that. And they're probably, about the size of, I don't know, small office.
Remy just has like some opaque plastic sheeting that he's dragged up from somewhere. But basically, the only notable features of his room are a small bed and a small desk. But he has a ton of trinkets, like just a bunch of random shit from the missions that he's gone on. It's like It's almost like hoarder stuff because it's like every time he goes out, he takes something and brings it back. But it's also very neatly organized. So you can tell, like, you know, you see like an old pistol that doesn't work from one thing. You see like like a wooden shield from another world. Like you see knobs from spaceships that he used his Stiffworks to get to. Like you see a bunch of stuff that like it's just like he just has a bunch of trinkets because he doesn't want to forget again like sort of who he is. He also he has some books, but mostly it's just like he has these things, and it's clear that he doesn't want to forget things anymore.
And let's say Bijan, just before Remy takes his long rest and has his nap, he's like going through his bag and is maybe just taking stock in some of the things that he has from Rigamont B. And there are two things of note that you're not sure what they do, but they're definitely more important than most of the other artsy trinkets that you got from the Anverder's gallery/treasury. And I'm just going to describe those things right now so that you know what they are when you meet everybody in the morning. And I'll do this for everybody as they're sort of settling into their rooms. So are you ready to take some notes?
I have Excel or Google Sheets open. I'm ready.
Nice.
No brand names
Okay, so
until Alphabet pays us the big bucks.
It's 4 pairs of Nike sneakers.
Don't tell Merkis.
Sorry, Air Force Ones, new in box.
Damn.
No. So the first thing of note that you see is a small metal box with a button on it, and the button is not lighted. It's just also metal. And out of the top of the small box, pointing forward, are curved antenna that form an open circle. And at the end of either of the pieces of antenna, there's like a little sort of, looks like stone marbles almost. So there's like empty space between the curved antenna and, sort of, this is hard to describe. It sort of looks like big calipers, if that makes sense.
Unfortunately. Calipers for one's head, perhaps.
But with a box attached to it. You don't know what it does. And there is a leather bag that is attached semi-permanently to a hook that's underneath the box. And then the second thing is an ornate silver gift box with a latch. And the box is covered in a relief of what looks like a bunch of little demons, and like fish with arms and legs, and birds with antennas and octopus tentacles dancing around a bonfire. The latch is not locked, so you could open it if you want to see what's inside of it.
Yeah, Remy opens it.
When you open it, the very dense red jelly that is inside of it jiggles a little bit.
Sick.
Those are the two sort of notable things that you managed to swipe from the Anverder's gallery.
Cool. Yeah, Remy's like mildly interested, but he's much more interested in the Illithanari Archaeotech. If that's one of the, is that one of those things?
Let me look. Let me see.
But he's interested in the visor that he has.
One of those things is Illithanari Archaeotech.
Okay, got it. Yeah, he's much more interested in the Anverder's pistol that he got instead. He's like, yeah, this stuff is cool. Probably don't need it.
Yeah, so you also have the visor and the Anverder's pistol.
Yeah, Remy's much more interested in those two things. And his souvenir for this run is, I think it's a machete that he picked up.
Oh, sure. Yeah, right. That you pried out of the hands of a dead person. Yeah, nice.
Vynos's room actually always changes because Vynos has the power to go back in time. And so one way that Vynos can have multiple rooms is to just have different rooms every few weeks. Right now, and then he could travel as he likes to the room of requirement. I wonder if that's patented. So right now it looks very much like a science lab. There's no bed. It's just little shelves carved into the rock, unless Mike, you know something about this rock that I don't know. And
yeah, someone would have some sort of technology that allows you to hang shelves on this otherwise, extremely hard to cut into.
Okay.
substrate.
Well, they were designed perfectly to look like they were carved from the rock, even though they weren't. And there's just little bottles, obviously maybe little experiments, twin experiments of time travel in multiple ways to see how two identical grapes handled the various trips, things like that. Some of them are glowing jars, some of them are pipettes and various types of strange science equipment. Some of it looks a bit more bespoke than the kind of very modern, clean science equipment that we are maybe used to seeing in film and television.
Nice. It's like pieces of hand-blown glass.
Yes. Very much, very twisty and gnarly.
Yeah, so you also spy in your bag two pieces that sort of stand out from all the other knickknacks that you have.
Yes.
The first is, there's kind of no other way to describe it besides other than the type of sunglasses that Macho Man Randy Savage would wear.
Jesus Christ.
But they're much, much bigger. And it looks like they have built-in headphones.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like a piece of aftermarket Sega gear that you would put on to simulate VR in the 90s.
Yeah, from Sega.
I mean, yeah, you don't know.
Sega.
Sega. Who would be making this? Taylor, you know these things. You're supposed to chime in here.
You called it Sega.
Yeah, Sega.
It's Sega.
Can we get
I call it Sega.
Mike, can we get the Sega noise bumper thing put in right here?
Sega!
Just right here.
You don't know what it is, but to us, if we saw it, it would be something that you would think Oakley made.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the other thing that you have is a harness. You can't tell if the straps are the straps are maybe leather.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the center where all the straps meet, and there's some buckles and there's some other sort of attachment bits, there's a heavy metal something. It's kind of like the size of a small book. And when you look at it closely, it looks like many small pieces of steel that are held in to some case or some frame. You can see a bunch of hinges, and there are a few springs, and there is a tiny little latch on the bottom of it. And that's the stuff that you see in your bag that seems sort of more noteworthy than anything else.
Okay. I hold the big glasses, the Macho Man Randy Savage glasses with earpiece accessory kit up to my face, but I do not actually put them on.
You can see that there is some sort of animation or heads-up display or something that's sort of flickering and showing on the glasses, but you can't tell exactly what it is.
Well, what'll they think of next? And I throw them back in the bag. And I go back to tinkering with some of my baubles and glass beads.
Jesus.
Very nice.
Merkis is walking down the hallway, talking to the stylophone, and just saying briefly, and then she didn't let me drive, and now I'm back home. And he's just mumbling to himself and pushes through some tarp to get into his shared room blob with his brother Marcos, who is asleep. So Merkis is taking off the riot gear and hanging it very carefully on a pegboard that's to the right of the door. All of their gear is just kind of knolled nicely on a pegboard. But you'll notice on the left side of the room, lining the entire wall, is just a collection of shoes just in threes. And so he's kicking off the duck boots and puts them back very gingerly and very carefully, but just sighs really heavily at the empty spot for the baby duck boot. He has, instead of beds, they have more horizontal bars that are hanging from the ceiling, and they like to sleep with their bodies leaning on a bar horizontally and their arms and tail just falling down.
Sure, I
You
get
can
it.
imagine
Yeah.
that. But he has a little peg for the rucksack and notices that it's open as he's getting ready to go to sleep.
You have, I believe, 3 things that are of interest. You lost some things when the Saffron Anax decided to empty your bag, but you managed to keep kind of, I think, the three most important things. You have the very heavy disc with the lighted purple button that you pulled off of the Ilithnari. You don't know what it does, but it's a heavy disc with a lightly glowing purple button. Mm-hmm. You have the Ilithnari's blood cloak, which kind of is what it sounds like. It's a long, slick cloak covered in a blood-like substance. Oh and you also have, amongst all the little trinkets that you swiped, it's kind of like a small, shiny silver blimp shape, and it's got a very long, ergonomic handle on it. It's got what looks like a plunger coming out of the back of it. And this object is very well made, very shiny, very smooth. I think you would perceive it as being like very pleasing. Like there's something about it that's just very nice, that it like looks clean and well designed and manufactured in a way that you don't normally see things on Spin. So it's just like kind of cool and pretty, though again, you have no idea what it does.
And it just doesn't touch any of it. It just closes the flap on the bag and crawls or does a pull up into bed. And on the ceiling, there is a portrait of all 26 of his brothers who are all, just standing in front of a stiff work, like doing a silly picture.
Sure, right. Let's do a fun one.
Yeah. And he's just like, night Marcos, night Marcus, nice Mark, night Mark. Good night, Marquise. Good night, Marquez, Marqueso. And just falls asleep saying all of his brothers' names.
Oh, it's like counting sheep, but counting brothers. Yeah. It's adorable.
Upon entering her little room, you would notice that this place is a mess. It's a complete mess. It looks like a bomb went off. There's papers strewn all about. There are some books laid out that are clearly from the archives, part of her work. And then there's clearly illegal notes that she wrote from previous books that she took out.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't copy those passages. What are you doing?
Yeah, she did it. There are notes all over. There are little pieces of paper everywhere, scribbled little notes of people answering the question, what's the oldest thing you remember? You also notice in one of the corners, there seem to be like little dioramas of famous rom-com scenes, like a little scene from When Harry Met Sally, and a little scene from Love Actually. There's also random pictures of swords, kind of taped to the wall. There's little pieces of metal everywhere, like she's clearly was eating, and just like little knobs and little nails fell to the ground because those are kind of like chips to her. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy space, but she like kind of clears some of the papers in one corner of the room, and she's like, well, if Oat does take me up on the offer, this will be for him.
You look in your bag and you have 3 items that seem interesting. Okay. The first kind of looks like a fish bowl, but it's upside down. So there's a glass or glass-ish bulb, large, maybe about like 10 inches across. And it has something that looks like a Game Boy attached to it, into the center of it. And the Game Boy has a big dial in the center with an arrow on it, and around the dial are a bunch of symbols that you don't recognize. Okay. And then it's got, like a Game Boy, it's got a screen, but above the screen there are what looks like cartoon eyebrows.
Okay, interesting.
The second thing is it fits in the palm of your hand. It might be like a little bit bigger. It's very heavy, and it looks like a 2-sided dart. There's a long point on either end. It's kind of like brass or some kind of metal, like knurled pattern on it. And it looks like it's screwed together at the center. Like you could separate it into 2 pieces. And the third is a big, heavy weird helmet that's kind of got a bunch of like bulbous shapes on it, and the viewport is a weird size and kind of asymmetric. It's very heavy, it's very old, some parts of it are rusted or kind of decaying, but if you turn it upside down and you look into it, you can see that the inside is pretty well maintained, like the padding has been refurbished, and inside the viewport, there's the piece of glass that's there, it kind of like blinks every once in a while. Like there's some sort of information that it is communicating, and it seems like it's powered and, is functional. It will do whatever it does.
Interesting. Beta has the 3 items, and she kind of like puts it in a corner of the room, but then she takes NTS and she gently lays NTS in the When Harry Met Sally restaurant scene diorama. And says,
yeah, he just floats lightly above the table.
Yeah, and says, "You'll sleep here," and of course gives it a little kiss on the top.
All right, all of you head to bed and take a rest, and you can regain pool.
Yeah.
Sick.
Merkis did not regain full grit, but a good amount.
Marcus worked hard.
Also, Beta, as she absorbs 1 grit per hour from her surroundings, can I add 12 grit?
I would say, I don't know that you slept for 12 hours. I would say that you could probably add 6.
We'll take it.
Hey everyone, your GM Mike here to say hello. We hope you're having as good a day as could be expected in the year 2020, and to tell you about our Patreon, where for as little as $5 a month, you can get access to our Discord, bonus content, our bi-weekly post-episode chat show, fun chatty, and other fun surprises. Your support means that we can keep making the show and make it awesome. So if you want to help out, head on over to patreon.com/Fun City Ventures. Get on in here. And so, after 2 long days, the members of this newly formed crew rest. Remy amongst his mementos, Vynos amongst this particular set of instruments, Beta with her papers and ambitions, Merkis, his shoes and brothers. Below them, stiffworks silently shift fleeters from here to there and back on their worshipful business. Above them, the archivists toil in their labs and comb their chanceries. The directorate plots, the refactors sleep. Algar sleeps in his sizable, inherited room blob amongst his clocks, his long in-progress memoir, and of course, another long, mossy wall. Spindle does not sleep. There's always some business to be done, some code remnant to be deciphered, or some long-lost gizmo to be prodded. The flats, the Basilicon, they may be barren, but the canteen is dotted at all hours with fleeters, drinking, scheming, drawing maps for each other on discarded leaflets, telling tales of this Migo encounter or that bout of time sickness. A large collection of blobs partitioned and demarcated by handmade signage, colored rope, and an ever-shifting decor. The canteen is where fleeters go to relax, to cause trouble, to do deals, and to see deals be done. In the morning, each member of the team arises, and one by one, they file to the canteen, to the far portion, near the tavern blob with the phytonutrient nanoreplicators that print out the closest thing to a passable breakfast here, wherever we are in space.
Merkis is rubbing his eyes and is shuffling in some Oogs, which are from Australia. They're very comfortable boots. And now has a baby Oog on his tail and is making his way to a table.
Yeah, Remy spots the boot and is like, "Oh, I know that boot," and joins.
Vynos is already halfway done his phytonutrient meal form. It is shaped like a happy turtle, and he's started with the back half because he doesn't want to lose that smile. And
Happy Turtle special, very popular this
yes,
season.
it is. Yes, it is. Now you know why I was up early. And Vynos is very cheerful, and he sees the two approaching, and he gives them a little wave.
Yo, Big V, how's the turtle?
Oh, you've seen my turtle. Yes, delicious as always. I recommend you getting one yourself if they still have it.
What does it taste like today? I feel like it changes every time I look at them. Every time I look at the menu, it's different.
Well, you know, you ask 1,000 fools and each one will tell you a tale. But I would say, have you ever tasted the sumptuous spice of raskunari?
Wow.
Can't say that I have.
That's not the first time Vynos has gotten this look, which is no, and waiting. And he says, well, I think it's a bit akin to that, if I do say so myself, but don't tell the chef I said so.
Thanks, Vynos.
And it's a compliment.
Thanks, Vynos.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Remy goes for a turtle, and then heads back to the table.
Yeah, you are extruded a turtle from one of the nano food extruders behind the bar. The Cantoid bartender hands it to you.
Beta heads over to the table. She is not eating any of the phytonutrients. She's gnawing on what looks to be bicycle handlebars and sits down next to Vynos.
Hey, Remy, how do you feel?
Much better. Thank you for asking, Merkis. I appreciate you asking. And Remy takes a huge bite of the turtle and starts coughing because it's very dry.
I mean, I've never worked with you before. I've never seen anyone jump on a grenade like that.
Don't get used to it. Won't happen again.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to show off. You understand? Sometimes.
Show off?
Jump on metaphorical grenades. And he slams down the pistol, the box, and the other box. And he's just like, I'm ready to give these up. I don't want any of this stuff. Keep in the visor, though. What about you guys? Do you bring anything? Or do you not carry your illicit tech with you?
I just don't know what it is. I have this big purple button I want to press, but I feel like I probably shouldn't.
No,
and I also have this very scary looking sheet. It's the blood cloak.
Press the button. Press the button. I want to see what it does.
I don't think we should press the button. And so he's holding the blood cloak with like the end of the pen he was going to give Algar. Because it looks scary. I have this, and then also this, and it's a silver blimp. I don't know what I should keep or what we should give back. I guess it depends on what we tell them.
Yeah, I think, just for me, I don't know about you guys, what you guys are feeling, but, you know, I would like to keep NTS. I just think NTS will be a little bit more comfortable if he wouldn't really like the archive. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Beta, I think you're right.
Well, I thought it ate you back there. Oh.
Well, I'm very disappointed in all of you. I must say I intend to return every piece, except for a couple that I seem to have misplaced. and then he winks at each and every one of them, and then he winks at his turtle.
The turtle does not wink back.
I'd be scared if it did.
Remy says, "Yo, how are you eating this? I was following your lead. It looked cool. I wanted to eat a turtle."
It's very good.
If you would like to, before you decide, you can get your gear appraised in the canteen. And I think, like, you know, if you wanted to do that, that amongst the group of you, I think you would probably know a couple people who might be willing to take a look at your technology, take a look at the things that you have, and for a price, tell you what they are. You don't have to do that, but if you would like to have more information about what you have, then those people could provide it.
Then Beta is definitely gonna. She's curious, so she's definitely gonna get them at least appraised. The 3 items, not NTS, obviously.
So Beta, I think of the group, you would probably know Gray Cloud Eater.
Okay.
And Gray Cloud Eater is a Waiton engineer and former archivist who has a shop that is in the canteen, you know, probably about a 5-minute walk away.
Mike, are former archivists common?
Yeah, it's like, I would not say common, but there are definitely people who are on spin who, you know, have just left the archive or been kicked out of the archive, but have managed to kind of stay around.
So Beta leans into the team and says, "Hey, just, you know, between us all, since we're such great friends now, I know someone who may be able to get us some information about this tech."
Remy, you would probably know Brandish Tamm.
Yeah, oh yeah, Big T, BT.
Brandish Tamm is kind of like a jack of all trades. He just kind of deals in items.
Yeah, we could take. Yeah.
Brandish Tamm is the kind of guy that knows people. You know?
Yeah, he's a guy that So Remy likes Brandish Tamm because Brandish Tamm is like the kind of guy that Remy was like back in the day. So he's like, yeah, Brandish Tamm. I know. BT. Let's take him our stuff. We'll figure it out. He knows a guy.
So these
who
are,
knows
just
a guy.
to be clear, it's 2 different people. It's Gray Cloud Eater is the person that, okay, great. Perfect.
No, it's just Remy's like obviously gonna ride for his guy because like obviously he gets a cut and Remy may get a cut of the cut because it's you know nobody works for free.
Beta's gonna be a little bit. She wants to meet this other guy, but she does think Great Cloud Eater will know more information about it, and that's really what she's after. So she's but she's not saying anything really. She's I guess we can go with your guy, Remy.
Look, Beta, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. I'm taking my stuff to this guy. I worked with him before. He's good. BT's a good guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you take your stuff there, you're gonna have to pay a little bit because obviously this is a service.
I don't have a lot of, what do you call it?
It is a nominal
Moolah.
fee. It's a nominal fee. It's appraised on the value of the good, and you only have to pay whenever you give the good to the archive and you get your bonus. He knows guys. He knows guys who knows guys.
Beta's gonna
to be clear, Brandish Tamm is definitely going to charge you up front.
They don't know that.
I guess maybe that's true.
But also, yeah, Remy's like, he's been, I think, can I say this, Mike? He's been promised a cut of whatever comes through that he recommends. Like it's an affiliate link program.
Pass a charm check.
Okay.
And if you pass a charm check, yes.
5?
You can tell people that you get a cut, but you do not. or you can think that you have an arrangement with Brandish Tamm, or that one is in the works, but it does not exist yet.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that way, yeah. Remy's like, I don't know about your guy, Beta, but like my guy, I know him, he knows me, we're working out some deals together, he's a good guy.
Beta can see that Remy really wants to take it to his guy, and she's thinking back that Remy, he did a lot in this last mission, so she's like, all right, let's take it to your guy.
Vynos? Merkis? What do you guys think?
I don't have a lot of money to spend, but I will go with you.
It sounds good to me.
So y'all have decided you are going to go visit Brandish Tamm. Maybe we'll meet Grey Cloud Eater later, but for now, you are heading across the canteen to Brandish Tamm's shop. He has a shop that is sort of on the edge of the canteen, closer to the bays. As you approach, you can see that the black curtain that hangs over the front of it is drawn and it's open. You can see on the other side of it, there's just tons of stuff. His shop blob is packed to the brim with things. Small boxes, weird pieces of technology, weapons, swords, books, various materials, building materials, things you don't even know what they are. And sitting in a small desk, sort of barely perceivable because of the crowdedness of the space, is Brandish Tamm. And Brandish Tamm he's a small gnome-like man with huge, thick black eyebrows and a knot of dense, shiny, and wavy black hair that's tied up into a huge bun on the top of his head. He's sitting at the desk writing. You can see he's got these huge arms. He's very muscular. He's got a wide nose and this dimpled chin that's pointing down. And there's a single light that's kind of floating above him, not appearing attached to anything and just illuminating the space. He's just working quietly in his office as you approach.
Mike, can I just say you just described Eugene Levy, but with long hair?
He's kind of like hot. Not that Eugene Levy's not hot. Hot, tiny Eugene Levy, with maybe a little bit of Henry Rollins.
Sick.
Wow.
Yeah. So Remy's in front. He's like, "Yo, BT," because he doesn't see him at first. Yo, BT, you there?
No.
There he is.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see you walk in. Oh, hello, Remy. It's you.
Me.
Now your friends are new. Your friends, are they okay?
They're cool. They're cool. I told them that you know guys, that we know guys, and also that you give fair prices on appraisals. You're the guy to know. And they were like, "Hey,
You're not gonna find a single price that's fair anywhere on Spin, on any Hulk planet side, than for me, Brandish Tamm."
That's what I like about you, BT. I know that I'm not getting that ripped off. Just a little bit. Just a fair amount.
He's joking.
I am. That's why we work so well together. So I got some stuff for you. I got some stuff to show you.
Hey, you know that you do not get a cut. This is yes, correct?
Who said I got a cut? I didn't say that.
Every time you're in here, you're asked for a cut of everything you bring in, and the answer is today, the same as it was yesterday. No.
I did not say a single thing. I walk in here and you accuse me of something immediately. Brandish Tamm, you should be
This is not.
You should be ashamed.
This is
ashamed.
Let's see what you brought, Brandish Tamm.
Today is different than the other days. I brought my friends this time. Be cool, Brandish Tamm.
It gets no cooler than Brandish Tamm.
He does finger guns.
Remy slams the pistol on his table.
Holy shit!
Yeah, right? You like? Don't fucking touch it.
Now, where did you get this?
She's dead.
Who?
The person who had this gun. I just took it off a dead body. Come on, man.
I don't even have to touch this to know that this is really serious stuff.
It's serious stuff, and we're turning it over. It's too serious for me. Above my pay
You better
grade.
turn this over.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? How much is it worth?
Okay. Look. This is extraordinary, but standard deal. I think I'll appraise any item for 50 guilder, and it'll take one standard spin hour.
One standard spin hour, huh?
You said it, not me.
No, you said it first. We talked.
I said it first, but the second time was Remy, all you.
Okay, that's fair.
50 guilder, 1 hour, and I will take a look at this beautiful object you have put down in front of me.
Okay, and Remy turns to the rest of the party. What do you guys think? 50 guilder, 1 hour.
Merkis is whispering into the stylophone. Remy said I'm cool.
Mike, separate question for you, the DM. How much money did we start with? What's the calculation again?
Your starting money is 10 times max will plus max charisma.
So Remy has 140 guilder on him. Hey. So what do you guys think?
So the rate is we give him 50 guilder per item or to look at everything?
Seems like the standard rate is 50 guilder per item.
Ooh, I think I will have Mr. BT. I will have you look at one of my items.
I'm sorry. Are you addressing me? He was absolutely absorbed in the pistol on the surface.
Yes. If you have some moments, maybe after you look at that one, and then Beta props on the desk the big heavy helmet.
Maw the void. You people are walking, rolling, and flying heady into my place today. What fantastic adventure has yielded such a bounty?
Can't talk about it.
You know that we are sworn to secrecy.
No, you're not.
Remy looks at Beta and is like, yeah, nods. Yeah.
Yeah, we are sworn to secrecy. We cannot speak of our adventures.
Listen, it's been a long time. I don't remember the 5 rules of promises or whatever, okay? Maybe you're sworn now. I don't remember getting sworn. But fine.
This one is called The Cloak of Lies.
Okay, right. Okay. Fine. I'm not going to ask where you got these incredible objects anymore, but I will tell you the same thing I told him. 50 gilder per item. It'll take 1 hour.
Beta throws the money on the table. She doesn't care about money.
Beta, do you think that it is likely that you have had something appraised by Grey Cloud Eater before, or do you think Grey Cloud Eater is someone who you just talk to about old memories?
I think Beta would have, any time that she would have gotten an item, she probably would have had it appraised just to get more information on it. So yeah, I think she has.
So you would know, and I think like you can keep this to yourself.
Yeah.
I think maybe you're like testing the waters here to see what Brandish Tamm's deal is.
Mm-hmm.
But Grey Cloud Eater tends to charge 30 gilder.
Yeah, Beta's not going to say anything. She's just going with the flow.
Are you going to go to Grey Cloud Eater?
What?
Are you going to go to Grey Cloud Eater? I can see it in your eyes. Or
What do you
that stuff up there
I mean,
on your head.
yeah. I mean, yes. I'm going to.
Don't.
Why?
I'll cut you a deal.
A deal?
I'll cut you a deal. You tell me.
I'm listening.
You tell me what the job was that gave you these items, and I'll appraise them for free. But it will still take me an hour. I am not a health scientist. I am not crazy magic man. I have normal things. You understand? An hour I cannot scrimp on, but I will cut you a deal for a little thing
right.
I call secrets and knowledge.
All right, let me discuss with my team. Hey, team, that seems like a pretty good deal.
Merkis is dancing like from one foot to the other, like, I don't know. I don't know if we should tell secrets like that.
I'm thinking we do it.
I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Well,
Remy,
Yes?
should we do it?
Well, then it's that means I can afford it too if it's free.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
I see acceptance in your visage. Now, dish.
Merkis is pulling the blood cloak out of his bag with like holding the end of it with the pen, just like holding it in the air, not putting it down on the table because he's afraid of what it'll do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. You know the deal. You tell me where and why, and the appraisal comes to you from this little guy for no money. I'm Brandish Tamm.
Sounds like a deal to me, BT. BT, we met the Invader.
Tell me every detail.
Well, there were a lot of dead people in her front yard. A lot of them. The house was weird too. It was like a lot of moving panels. There was a tree. We found an Illithnari. And then I got some hands. I got some feet. They're still in my bag. If you want to take a look at those. And we took our mounts back. We narrowly escaped death, and now we're here after a nap.
And of course you would come to me, Brandish Tamm, before
Brandish,
Yes,
Brandish, I bring
before
you
acquisitions, of course. Is there an archivist that knows you are here?
Remy looks around at the group and looks back at Brandish Tamm, and it's very obvious that no. The answer is no. Yes.
Well then, I will look and appraise all these items free of charge for you.
Because that's your job.
Mm-hmm. And then you are to come back no more than 3 standard spin hours from now, and I will give these items back to you to return as you have sworn to acquisition.
Excellent.
This is clear.
Excellent, BT. And Remy takes the pistol back and drops the weird box with the calipers instead and says, "Take care of that."
Wait, no, give me that back.
No.
Well, that's the best one.
You said you'd appraise anything.
I will. I'm happy to appraise these delicious calipers you have brought in front of me. But you want to be very, very careful with that hand cannon you've got, young man.
That's why I'm keeping it on me and my finger away from the trigger.
I need to look at that. You are walking around with something very dangerous in your pocket, and you do not know how dangerous it is until Brandish Tamm tells you how. So
no, it's great. I'll talk to the archive. They'll do it for free.
A deal's a deal.
A deal is a deal. Thank you, BT. Love doing business with you.
Beta was, impressed by the whole interaction because she's pretty straightforward with people, and she just puts the fishbowl on the table and also the two-sided dart.
Yeah, I guess Remy drops his other Illithnari tech, not the one with the calipers, the silver box covered in a relief of demons with jelly inside.
Merkis lowers the blood cloak back into his bag. He's just too afraid to leave it anywhere. and pulls out the shiny blimp and puts it on the table.
Fine.
Vynos also leaves the glasses and harness at the thing. He doesn't leave the multi-object just because he is going to be returning that anyway and doesn't want to risk losing it.
Thank you, BT. We love doing business with you. We'll be back. We'll bring you more cool stuff. We got more cool stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait. Thank you for your custom here at Brandish Tamm's.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Brandish.
I think that's enough wheeling and dealing for one day for me. But if you guys want to go see GCE, that's all you. I, for one, think we should go talk to Algar, figure out what we're going to say, because I don't think anything went totally wrong. I mean, we almost got killed by the big spaceship alien thing.
The Saffron and Ox.
No, was it the Illithnari? It was the Illithnari.
The Void Elf?
The Void Elf.
Oh, the
right,
Void Elf,
different
yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably get our story straight on where the story ends.
Yeah.
I think the story ends with the Void Elf.
I don't see why
Void
it
Elf?
shouldn't.
We should say that we fought off the Void Elf.
Yes.
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 And we came
'Cause
straight
that's
home.
badass.
Yes.
Should
All
we
right, sounds
wait
good to me.
a minute? Should we omit details about Mr. Oat?
Who?
Oh,
Who?
the person who saved us from the second grenade.
Remy's just winking.
Merkis
right.
doesn't get it.
Yes.
Merkis just doesn't get it. It's too earnest.
Beta goes to Merkis, kind of like whispers, like he knows who Oat is. He's just saying that we were pretending we don't know.
Okie dokie. Got it. I would like it on record that I tacked us back.
Noted,
sure.
noted. Yes.
Oh, I like lying.
All
Don't
right.
get used to it. Lying is hard because you have to remember what you said.
Uh-oh.
The truth is always easiest to remember.
And Merkis is taking out the stylophone and pretending to erase, which is not really doing anything.
I see, Merkis, you get it. You're getting it. Shall we see Algar?
I'm wondering if I can stop by my, I would like to freshen up a little bit, but I guess we can go now.
You guys head to the Basilicon?
Yes.
Yeah. Remy's like, Beta, I don't know what he doesn't see in you. I don't get it. I don't understand his.
That's so sweet of you, Remy.
They're just. I think he's just gossiping with Beta the whole way over.
The team makes their way from Brandish's shop blob back across the edge of the canteen. It's just clearing out after breakfast. Shop owners are opening for the day. The phytonutrient nano-replicators are being set to their lunch shapes. Those arriving back on spin from various ventures discuss their reports over kelp lager and plates of hard brown crackers called dark pan. Between the canteen and the Basilicon is the closest thing Spindle has to open public space. Fleeters call it the Green, though, of course, it is entirely matte black rock. The green is a continuous blob, taller than most and much wider than it is long. This is where public meetings are held, where children play games, where the veiling, a kind of quarterly job auction, takes place. Today, as the crew makes their way across, a number of vendors visiting from Darasan have set up an impromptu market, complete with the covered stalls needed to protect goods on their cool, perpetually rainy planet. They sit quietly by colorful robes, intricate baskets, and strange-looking clank firearms adorned with leaves and flowers. The Basilicon is a warren-like arrangement of countless offices, home to refactors and, of course, acquisitions. The team passes the front desk, a large slab of spindle rock behind which stands a single Waiton, and makes their way through the maze of hallways to Algar's office. When they enter, he is present with his beetle beard, 4 watches, and mossy jacket. Oh! Ah! You've returned! It's so nice to see you. Please tell me it went well.
Oh,
Please,
yes.
have a seat. Have a seat. Sorry.
And
Remy
Merkis,
slams the pistol down on his desk.
Oh, my word. And he reaches into his desk, sort of tugs at some drawers, and it makes this terrible screeching noise because it's this awful old metal desk. And he pulls out a monocle. It's like a big monocle. It's almost like a magnifying glass without a handle. It's got a little tab on it that he'll hold onto, and he picks up the pistol very carefully and passes the monocle over it. He gets close to it, and he sort of looks at it, and he puts it down on his desk, and he goes, "Well, do tell."
and Merkis has the giant pen that he took from the library in both hands. He wanted to give it to him first, and it's just like, I also got you this pen.
This is very nice. Thank you. And you could tell when you hand it to him, his hand dips a little bit because it's much heavier than he thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was carrying that this whole time.
And that must have been quite a feat for you. And he opens up another drawer and takes out the sort of standard refactor set of forms and begins arranging them very carefully on his desk. And he says, "Oh, and did you get the vascular multi-object?"
Vynos pulls it out and he says, "You tell me, young man."
It is quite strange, isn't it?
It is. I've never seen anything like it in all the times I've been to and from.
Bearing in mind all of the remits and the defenses and the honorings and the promises, what happened? What would you like me to put in the report?
Vader's like, she has kind of used her foot to kind of push, as she's going to sit down, push the chair out so that she falls on the ground and goes, "Whoops, oh, I'm so clumsy. Well, maybe you could put that we completed the mission."
They usually need a bit of more detail than that, Beta. Please go on.
She's just facing the other way towards the wall.
Merkis pulls out the stylophone. After we met the factor out there, we jumped on some zogs and made it to the estate. Mm-hmm. And the boss woman was there, the invader was there to greet us.
Did she give you her... I've read the report. This is her pistol. She gave you this?
Well, a few other things happened first.
Doc, she's, and he throws something in his mouth and is just chewing. He's like, she's not alive anymore. So we just took it. I just took it.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, the place was picked pretty clean, except for a few trinkets and other oddities we found that we have in these bags. But the reason we were able to secure this was that we actually witnessed the invader's death.
Oh my! What happened?
It was a valiant battle with an Ilith Mari.
Say no more. We will find a way to explain this in the contract, but you have the vascular multi-object, the Invader's own pistol, and you said that you managed to gather other items?
Yes, we have a few bags here. We also must report that her armor was left at the scene of her death. It was too heavy for us to carry, unfortunately. My apologies 1,000 times today and tomorrow.
The Directorate loves to follow up, though, so I'll make sure we keep that in the report.
Yes.
This is an astounding find. The archive will study this item for decades, if not centuries. This is a boss pistol that is crafted specifically for the Invader. There are things about the construction of this item that the archive likely has wanted to know for as long as it's existed.
Merkis raises a tiny bulbous finger and says, "Actually, may I have that pen back very quickly?"
He hands you. He gets a quizzical look on his face and reaches behind him and grabs the pen where he put it on a small filing cabinet and hands it to you.
And very carefully, out of his bag, Merkis is shaking, like the little arm is shaking and pulling out with the pen this blood cloak.
Oh my, no.
Trying not to look at it, like...
So I take it the Ilithnari did not make it either.
No, the Invader killed it.
Look, Doc, we did our best.
I can tell. Okay, give me a moment. And he starts scribbling in the papers that he has piled all around his desk. And he's moving from form to form, and he's checking boxes and writing out little pieces of notes here and there, and like flipping through all of this paperwork and, basically just doing bureaucracy in front of you. And after a couple minutes of doing this, he reaches into a drawer behind him, and he pulls out two flat pack boxes, and he assembles them into these basically like little open containers. He very gingerly and sort of with reverence puts the Invader's pistol into, and it like barely fits. It hangs over the sides because it's so big. And then he reaches into his desk and pulls out some pincers and grabs the cloak with it and puts the cloak in another. And he places the one box on top of the other, and he stands from his desk and he goes, "If you don't mind, I'm going to go remit these to the archive right now, just so that they're taken care of. And I'm just going to have the briefest conversation with my factor, and then we'll have a bit of a conversation about your payment. Yes?"
So we're getting a bonus, right?
I think that is likely the case, yes. I think it's likely that I, as well, am getting a bonus.
Oh, sounds good,
Bonuses
Elgar.
for everyone.
So please just hold tight for a moment. And he leaves the room. You're alone in Algar's office for a little while. You can touch the moss if you want.
Remy touches the moss.
It's great. It's very soft and kind of cool.
Vynos goes to join him immediately.
Yeah, I guess we're both, Vynos and Remy are both humans, right? Technically speaking.
Yeah.
So green things do calm us down.
And it is very soft and slightly moist. It's like an echo of an outside world. As you're petting the moss, Algar, sort of with a little look of disappointment on his face, pops back in through the plastic curtain that separates his office blob from the hallway, and he sees you petting the moss, and he goes, "Oh, it is enjoyable, isn't it?" He puts his hands around the vasicular multi-object, and he says, I was so enthused by your other unexpected deliveries that I completely forgot about your central MacGuffin." And he sort of looks at it and holds it. And, it's weird looking at someone else hold it, because depending upon the shape, sometimes it looks like they're not holding it, but it's still sort of levitating between his hands, as it turns into something that's long and skinny. It looks like he shouldn't be able to be holding it aloft, but he is. And he's sort of like looking at it quizzically and says, "The Directorate will of course be very pleased that you've returned this as well. It's apparently a very, very valuable and highly sought after item, you see. Its purpose is completely beyond me, but, this is often the case with the vial. The Founding Five. The Founding Five. Excuse me a moment." And he leaves again.
That was weird.
Yes, he definitely said vile. We all heard it.
And I think this would be something that, like, this is a nickname for the directorate, the 5 people that started the company that you, like, probably have never seen, but are, they run a trading company.
Right.
They're not great people.
Beta takes out the book, The Life and Times of Professor or whatever that she got from the library.
Oh, yeah. Nibble, I forget. Zizzlebith Nibblebottom.
Yes. And she writes like a cryptic note in it, like, got this for you, does not sign who is who. She's not signing it, Beta, and she just puts a little heart and she puts it in Algar's desk.
The drawer is kind of hard to open, and when you get it open, there's like a bunch of weird stuff in there. It's like a bunch of disassembled pens and what looks like pipe tobacco. But yeah, it fits and you close it. After a few minutes, he comes back. He's got this big grin on his face, and he sits down and he straightens the lapels on his jacket and he says, okay, so first things first, each of you will get the standard rate of 25 guilder, so you can plan on having that. And you guys should just, in our world, you can write these things in your character sheet. Mm-hmm. So each of you gets the standard rate of 25 guilder. We'll award you an extra 50 guilder for the various small art objects that you were able to acquire at the Onvader's estate. Vynos, Vynos and everyone else, I'm assuming that you handed over like all the little knickknacks that you got and stuff too,
like
right?
the little babies, yeah.
Yes.
Each of you may split amongst you a 500 guilder bonus for the pistol.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Very good. Doc, that's great.
And the news gets better. It seems as though you are all in line for a promotion.
Oh.
And with a promotion, you may all also make use of a recruit. And he sort of like sits up a little bit and he goes, recruit, you may enter.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi,
Who are you?
everyone. Hello. It's nice to. Hello. It's nice to meet you for the first time.
Doc, who the fuck is this? What is this?
This gentleman was just hired by the company. He is a new arrival who has requested a local assignment. So if there is anything that you should need on spin, you can come to me always, of course. But you could also make use of this gentleman here. Sorry, what did you say your name was?
My name is Oat, and a lot of still fleeters used to believe that Harajoon were very lucky to have in their companionship, if I might remind everyone.
Yes, that is true.
So we used to call these people like this interns back on Earth. This was a long time. It was thousands of years ago. Millennia upon millennia. But that was the last thing I remember before the whole thing. But we had interns.
It's been a long time since I did my studies of the old cultures, but wasn't internment also a word for prison?
Yes. It was similar.
Oh. Well, this is nothing like that.
when Remy, when you say yes, Oat looks at you and he's shooting daggers with his eyes.
Well, it's a pleasure making your acquaintance. Ode,
Very
I'm
nice to meet you.
Vynos, and I hope you would also ask me if you have need of anything in the science of hell.
Merkis is around and rubbing his tummy and going, and just extending a hand. Hello.
And it's a pleasure to meet you as well.
I'm Merkis.
Merkis, you're so shy today. Remy sticks out his hand. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm glad you're going to be working with us.
I am meeting you as well.
Algar looks at Oat and says, now, Mr. Oat, remind me, have you been sworn in?
Well, of course, once a very long time ago, but my little thinker up here is not exactly what it used to be. So, I guess we should probably do it again. Make sure this one takes, right?
And he flips through flips through some pieces of paper on his desk, and anybody who's up close to the desk, Merkis, if you're front and center, you can see that he's kind of flipping through Oat's file. He's got a bunch of papers that sort of describe this person's position and their physiology and their sapient and all this other stuff. And he says, "Oh yeah, it doesn't seem like the box has been checked. So if everybody doesn't mind, I have to swear in a new recruit."
Oh, please do.
Mr. Oat, the principles are as follows. 1. The cloak of lies and decretum of obscurity. Thou shalt never speak without the express approval of the Directors Prime to colonials or Terrans or aliens of any variety of the Co, nor Spindle, nor Stiffworks, nor the Dread Miners, nor the Archive, nor Ordo Pallida, nor any colony unknown to them, nor the existence of the Still Fleet, nor that of any Hulk, nor the Deep Void, nor Dread and Shaga, nor the cursed Pazuzoon, nor Vile Dunage, nor any secret of the Co, nor the Directorate, nor Basilicon, nor any banality of the Co, nor any operational, nor logistic, nor strategic element whatsoever, nor, and so on, and so on, and so on. Do this, you swear.
Okay, I guess.
2, and he makes a big check motion on the piece of paper. 2, the remit of enigmas. Thou shalt ever repair unto the Directorate all things large and small taken out of the void, whether from up in the iron halls of the Still Fleet, or from down upon the alien worlds, or from deep within the red steel cathedrals of Tefnii, that stand bottom side up beneath the terrene wastelands, without exception, so that thine employers may perform their vocation and ensure the company remains fiscally and socially solvent, and even grows, and so that all manner of ancient arts may be one day understood by the Archive and revived. Those who withhold the spoils of the void from the Directorate shall be punished, as is our custom, most severely, depending upon the nature of the thing withheld, either by the blah blah blah, etc., etc. Do this, you swear.
With my whole snout.
And he makes a big check mark again. 3, the remit of banalities. And so too thou shalt return to thine home all full and accurate descriptions of those events witnessed in the void, in the halls of the Still Fleet, or on alien worlds, or Terra Mata, no matter how seemingly slight in import or strange in character, no secret, no drunken whisper, no cad-like declaration of amorous intent, no grocer's list, no statement of the chemical composition of alien soil, no file of names of long dead shall be withheld. Do this, you swear.
I do.
Great. He makes a check and he says, almost done. And he reaches and takes a big swig of water, clears his throat. Principle the 4th, the defense of home. And as we cloak ourselves in lies when we are away from our home, so do we cloak our home itself in darkness and errors, so that none might find the arcane paths to it. And if any find these, or even learn of our home, they must be disposed of by all company miners of the void, who should none of them like to lose their one true home to meddling and fractious and barbarous terrene queens, unhuman commissars, overreaching colonial governors, the elfin and most cruel Tanish, other diverse aliens, and the great and malevolent intelligences within the hulking bodies of the Still Fleet. Do this, you swear.
Yikes and yes.
Check. And finally, the chain of authority. At last, each miner in the void shall know her rank in the company and her place in the venture. The factor shall stand above the others and ensure each rule is known to every, and each made good by, and every knows her duties to the Co, and to every other. And should this factor fall, dismembered by aliens or hanged by terrene ignoramuses, it matters not. The witness shall stand up and carry on for her. And if she too shall fall, then the dread miner, whom they call Banshee, shall stand. And then if she falls, the most senior still rider. And then if no leader, reporter, stiff worker, or defender be standing, shall any local miner of the void carry on until that venture be accomplished to full completeness, so that all members of the Co shall take pride in the sacrifice of a few for the benefit of so many, and especially for the benefit of the Directorate, whose bold and supple strategies have allowed our home to flourish in the darkness between unthinkably impoverished past and unknowably fragile future for 3 centuries and more years. Do this, you, Recruit Oat, swear.
Algar, I'm gonna tell you, if you keep talking to me like this, you're gonna make it sound like we're having fun over here. And Oat looks at the group and he winks. And he looks back at Algar and he says, I swear.
He makes a big check, gets a big grin on his face, shuffles all of the papers together, and says, "By gum, we've done it. Fabulous. I'm going to go file all of this paperwork immediately. Oh, this is going to be such an immensely fun time. I think that it is very safe to say that the company is going to have more work for this particular arrangement of void miners very, very soon. So please go take some time off. You deserve it. And I will be in touch post-haste with your next venture." And he stands up and gives you a little salute.
Merkis' ear flaps flap out in salute.
Sounds good to me, Doc. Remy salutes.
Vynos is petting the moss again.
Oh, it's quite relaxing.
It is. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you.
Oat spreads his wings to attention and also salutes.
The other thing to note is that now that you have filed paperwork, you get to level up.
Ooh.
Level me up.
Ooh. Let's get Oat a drink. He's the newest member of the team.
Yes.
We did this together.
Beta's kind of whispering through her teeth. Again, she doesn't have a face, but I left the light on for you all night, Oat.
Yeah, listen, I'm so sorry about that. There's a bunch of errands and a lot of loose ends I had to, figure out. And I didn't want anybody to know we were together so that I could apply for a job. And, but look, I'm so sorry to leave you hanging. But hey, I hope you don't have standard ear holes that appreciate acoustic vibrations because I snore in a way that is indescribable in common tongue. So we both have that to look forward to.
Sounds great.
I know just the place for a drink.
Yes.
Yes, please lead the way. Lead the way. A celebration is in order.
On the way there, Beta is kind of whispering to Merkis, like, I couldn't help, but I don't know if you noticed, but when Algar was saying how proud he was of all of us, it felt like his eyes were on me most of the time. Did you feel that?
Oh, yeah, Beta. Merkis was not paying attention.
If you want to roll will to see if you perceived anything like that, then I will let you. But
my will is 8. Oh, I don't have what's it called open.
I can roll it for you if you want. Oh, you rolled an 8.
Oh no.
Beta's not entirely wrong.
Oh, he might have been looking at you, Beta.
She blushes.
Wait, I have just a clerical question inspired by some fan art of Beta that we got. Is Beta wearing clothing?
That's a great question.
You get that a lot. Thank you.
Because a Shoodtha is a box-headed human form. Covered in like metal duct tape.
Yes.
But is Beta wearing clothing over that?
Yes. What I had originally written for Beta is that she's wearing, so I guess, this is happening. She's wearing a recreation of, what is
I'm so
movie?
Excited about where this is going.
It's a recreation of the dress on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the dress she's wearing on the cover. It's like
Is that like that white frilly thing?
I think it's like a yellow dress. How to Lose
Hold on.
Good
a
Lord.
Guy. Yeah,
it's gold, yellow,
10 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes. This is not what I was expecting, but I get it. Yes.
It sort of looks like that, but like kind of not at all. Because it's homemade from pieces of algae, like things that she found around. I would say, I don't know if she wears it on the mission, but she was definitely wearing it in the office when she goes into the office.
So it's like gold, skinny, silky, long straps.
Yeah.
Straps.
And it doesn't really fit her well, not at all. She doesn't really have the body for it. But she's trying to be a protagonist in a rom-com. What can we say?
Right. I mean, it was going to be like slinky gold dress or like bright red like leading lady dress, right?
Yeah.
Like those I feel like those are the two dresses that you're allowed to wear in those movies.
In those rom-coms, yeah. She's wearing that. I don't know how it really fits on her little robot body, but It does.
We'll let the people who can render things visually
Right.
figure it out. Yeah.
Oat leads you through the tunnels and like the hacked out hallways where the floor becomes uneven and then even again and then more uneven. And then you come to a medium-sized notch of a room blob cut into the middle of the back wall of the canteen, right? It's nestled between a tailor and what looks like a tinker. Anyway, it's got like a handwritten sign advertising scissor sharpening, metal bending, plate armor smoothing, and stuff like that. But the blob, right, the one that's nestled in between there is rectangular. One short side is its entrance, and you go inside. And it's a hallway of a bar with the bar on the left side and a long blue-gray plasticky sort of substance bar running right down the middle. There's long bench-like seats attached to the floor and made of the same material running down its length with small gaps to enter and slide in. Snug as a bug in a very large spinning space station. There's like total room in here, 8 patrons, if they're all human sized, and occasionally, often, many of them are not. And Oat says, "Ha!" He greets the bartender. It's Stephen Patrick, right?
It is Steve. Yes, this is Stephen Patrick Morrissey.
Yeah. He goes, "Please, everyone, meet my oldest and, as far as I can tell, in the last few hours that I've had back on Spin, only surviving friend, Stephen Patrick Morrissey." Say hello, Stephen Patrick Morrissey.
Oat, stop shouting in my bar.
Stephen Patrick Morrissey is an impressive presence behind the bar. The wall that is cluttered with mostly empty bottles, a showcase of liquors past and future and various knickknacks brought to him throughout the years. There's helmets, old photos, paper posters, little baubles, a few weird esoteric or dead weapons. He's serving kelp lager, black kelp lager, and a house specialty called Drunk. He will not tell you what is in it, but it's cheap, it's delicious, it's intoxicating, and Oat recommends it immediately. Now, I will also say that Stephen Patrick Morrissey, one of the reasons he's so big is because he is a mongrel. Mike, do you want to tell us what mongrels are?
Yeah, he's basically like an 8 foot tall, just massive, like sort of human shape. Very, very strong, very wide, very broad, but he's got a tiny little bear face right in the middle of his huge head. And it's bright. The skin is bright white, and he's got like big, sort of like bushy brown hair all around the rest of his head, and his. You can tell he's older. His eyes are kind of wrinkled. His face is kind of leathery, and his eyes are a little sunken. And he just always has this sort of permanent frown on his face. He just looks very kind of tired or over it. And this is like a pretty common thing for mongrels. There's a lot of questions about what they are, but the current understanding or guess is that they were sent from the future to stop humanity from killing itself. Good luck. And so, given this impossible task, I think the idea is that they're all just kind of fatalists. This guy runs a bar on Spin called Zona. He is wearing a jean vest with a bunch of sigils on it, a bunch of like religious symbols or like old glyphs that to us in 2020, you would immediately recognize these as the logos of bands from the 70s and 80s.
Whoa. Wow. I love the way of keeping humanity from destroying itself is to open a bar.
I'm sure he would talk your ear off at length if you were to ask about that plan. As Oat is sort of ushering you all in and gesturing at the bar and telling you to sit down, Morrissey looks at Oat and he says,
"To what do I owe the pleasure?"
I'm a member of the Co now, my friend. Once and future king. Oat at your service.
Should I congratulate you for this?
Yes, Stephen Patrick Morrissey. Yeah.
Are you sure?
He looks at the group. You know what?
You go with your gut on this, my friend.
He silently starts pouring out a bunch of dark kelp lagers, and he looks down the table and he says,
Anybody want any drunk?
Yes! 5 drunks, please.
Okay.
Oh, you're buying, right?
I am buying. Listen to this. This place, I love it. The drunk is fantastic. There's just so much dynamism around here. But this place, Sona, has not changed one bit since I left. Look at that behind the bar. And Oat is pointing at like a shelf full of knickknacks. And sure enough, you notice that amongst like some weird thimbles and a knife that seems to be both sharp and dull at the same time, there's like a little like
very still fleet.
Yeah, thank you. I threw that in there because I'm obligated to like have something that is two things.
That is the opposite of itself.
Yes. And there's also like a little galaxy suspended in a pocket universe on a keychain, and there's like a little, like, I guess the only way to describe it is a Polaroid, and it's a Polaroid of a group of people, and they're all in tuxedos and like form what appears to be different cultures, formal wear probably, and they're all holding up like clear glasses, cheersing to the camera, and the figure down in the very front is a 60-year younger Oat.
Wow.
And Stephen Patrick Morrissey is also in the picture, and he looks exactly the same.
Vynos smiles at that picture, but he doesn't tell anybody why he's smiling at it.
Vynos thinks quietly to himself, good one.
There's a pair of bunny ears that somebody's putting on somebody else in that picture that he knows something about.
That's good.
Merkis is very slowly spelling Zona in the stylophone.
So Morrissey pours you out 5 dark kelp lagers and distributes them to the crew. He then reaches into a refrigerator underneath the set of shelves that all the knickknacks are on. And amongst all of the knickknacks are all of these empty liquor bottles from just various fallen civilizations. They're all covered in dust. Some of the labels are half ripped off, but it's like, when someone's out in the world, when someone's out in the universe collecting things and they find an empty liquor bottle, it seems like Zona and Morrissey is the place and person that they bring them to. So this is like part of his collection, and he reaches into this refrigerator and pulls out a Carlo Rossi jug.
Wow.
And puts out 5 mismatched tiny shot glasses. And it's like, we would recognize these as like, one of them's a shot glass, one of them's a candle holder, one of them is a sake glass, one of them is a particularly small teacup. And he just puts them all out, and he very carefully, with his giant hands, pours out little droplets of this kind of like blue slurry almost. It's kind of like oatmeal or gruel, but it's bright blue, and you can smell the liquor or you can smell some chemical as soon as he's pouring it into these containers. And he looks at Oat and he says,
At the risk of having you be a good customer for a second lifetime, it's on the house.
Oh, Stephen Patrick Morrissey, you have not changed at all.
He turns around and he puts everything back, and he just kind of stands there.
Beta grabs for the candlestick holder one and says, "Ooh, a drink and a snack."
Remy grabs the sake glass because he sort of recognizes it, and he holds it up. Cheers, everybody.
Vynos grabs a glass and follows suit.
Merkis grabs a drunk with both hands and lifts it above his head because he's short.
Yeah. Do you all do a shot of drunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It tastes kind of like grain alcohol mixed with wasabi.
Oh.
If any of you had any sinus problems before this moment, once you regain your sight, they're gone. It's very, very strong. You all immediately feel slightly intoxicated. If you have it, and this is the only way that you can avoid not burning it, is not having it. But if you have 2 grit, you must burn it. And you all, if you concentrate, and we would do this with a will roll. If you concentrate, you all feel like you can hear each other talking without moving your mouths.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So if you want to,
madman.
if you want to lean into it, yeah, you can roll your will, and if you get a 6 or higher, you can drunkenly telepathically communicate.
Yeah.
Merkis got an 8.
Beta also got an 8.
Yeah, so you guys can hear there's no more secrets. You can't lie to each other.
Oh, Remy doesn't have enough will.
Oh no, I rolled a 1. Oat cannot.
Yeah, Remy has a D4 for will and rolled a 1 anyway.
Vynos got a 4.
Yes, so Beta and Merkis, you feel like you just feel very connected to your friends. And if there's a thing that you would like to know about what they are thinking, you would essentially know. And the way that we would play this is you have to just ask that character. You have to ask that player what their character is thinking, and they have to be truthful.
Okay, Shannon.
But you can just So just to set the scene, like you're at the bar. You are now all just at the bar having your drinks, and you have 5 dark kelp lager chasers in front of you.
Merkis has overturned the shot glass onto his head like a little fez. And it's just like waving his tiny short arms and wondering out loud to Beta, have you planned your wedding to Algar?
And she would be thinking, which wedding? Is it there? We're gonna be living millennia together. There's gonna be so many weddings and re-wed. The first wedding, sure, that I planned a while ago.
Tell me
But like the
about
10th
it.
anniversary wedding, when you reassert your vows, like
Right.
that one's still in the works.
Exactly.
Is this conversation happening telepathically?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I look at Remy and Vynos and I say, so every once in a while, drunk lets you hear the thoughts of like whoever's drinking drunk with you. We did not win, but it looks like those two are having a conversation.
Oh, so that's what's happening. Oh,
Yeah.
you are a very useful. What are you again?
Harajoon?
Harajoon.
Pretty
Sorry,
common,
my-
well-known race around
Yeah,
here. No, it's
yeah,
okay. You're a
yeah,
sleeper,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, my brain isn't good.
Don't worry about it. All is forgiven. Water under the bridge. You get a pass, Remy, my friend.
I appreciate you. So how do you make drunk? Why is it? What's the deal and how is it made? Why does it sound like an old word that I used to know?
Oh, that is a trade secret.
Okay.
Wait, does it... Patrick Steven!
Yeah, what?
Does it come from the future?
What did I say?
I think it comes from the future.
Sick.
He
Remy
gets so
Sutton
mad
is-
when I ask that, so I think I'm striking a chord with him.
In a way, because I come from the future, yes, it also comes from the future.
Yeah. He's not very good at keeping secrets. If you ask him twice, he just sort of dishes. Will not drink drunk. Will not drink drunk, though. Yeah, I'm going to get in there one day.
It's like putting a mirror across from another mirror.
Well, that seems wise to me. I'm curious to know how you two met.
Oh, that was so long ago, I almost don't remember. It's a long time
Let me
ago.
ask again. I was curious about how you two met.
You don't remember because of how drunk you were.
Oh, yeah, that scans. Yeah, I believe it.
Several decades ago, Oat was my best customer, and then one day he kind of just stopped showing up.
I like to think I was more than a customer. But look, that's not the lead here. That's not the big story. Big story is how did we meet today? I don't mean that literally. I just mean like we meeting. Now I'm on the team. I'm part of your squad. What do we do next? Are you gonna let me help you? Aren't you? We gotta find Vashashtana or whatever that thing is. You got a secret mission. Let's do it.
Why are
This is
you so
fun.
excited about this?
Because earlier today I thought I was gonna die without food and water in a weird prison I didn't understand. I'm still kind of riding the high of being rescued and having my life saved, which is weird. I aged 60 years. I found out that a lot of my friends and family died in a plague while I was in the prison, and I'm handling it great. So don't worry about me. I'm doing fine.
Oh, it sounds like you're just putting off these feelings and processing them, but you know what? That's what I like about you. You have no regard for the future.
Oat. And like Beta's having a little hard time with the she's not really
Use your words, move your mouth. No, you don't have a mouth, do you?
No. She's not really
Rude, Oat, rude.
she's not really understanding who she can mind speak with and who she can't. Oh, have you
There you go. I can hear you now.
have you been a still fleeter before?
Very briefly, it used to be that every time a squad went out through, the stiff works or whatever, they always took a Harajoon. We were considered good luck. I look around, I see that tradition has maybe changed in the last few decades. But, was I an official member of the Honorable Code? Like this. Well, let's not put names on it. But no, I've been on jobs. I had a lot of jobs. A lot of freelance stuff. I work with groups. Yeah, I think that answers your question. Does anyone else have a question on a different subject?
I think most of you would be familiar, and not to I might cut this part out, but most of you would be familiar with the fact that on Spin, there is a population of people who are not supposed to be there, but are basically hiding in plain sight.
Right.
Merkis doesn't really drink. And is basically a child. So
Merkis, you doing all right?
Merkis
You look
is
a little
wasted.
wobbly over there, bud.
So usually his whole body is mucusy to keep him cool, but because of the wasabi effect of the drunk, he's sort of whole body sneezed, just sort of flared up, pores are flared up, and he just feels like his whole body's on fire. So he's just fanning himself, and his little lizard tongue is long and just kind of sticking out like a thirsty dog. Hey, what did I drink?
Morrissey sees this happen and he goes,
Oh, we have something for this.
and he reaches into another cabinet and he pulls out what looks like a large toothpaste container and hands it to you without explaining anything.
And Merkis just starts with both hands squeezing it over his head, which still has the shot glass. So it's just whatever it is.
Yeah, a bunch of clear goop comes out, and it feels very cooling.
It is a unfortunate stereotype, but Jalasti can't hold their liquor.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Merkis, you're doing great. Don't worry.
You're doing great, bud.
fine.
You're doing great.
You're safe here with us. Your team.
Beta, when you marry Algar, can I help? Can I carry the rings?
Oh, well, that's not really in the diagram right now. It's it's not really in the plan, but maybe. And yeah, sure. Beta's lying. Beta kind of leans over the bar to Morrissey and is like, I normally ask people what the oldest thing they remember is, but maybe you could tell me the newest thing you remember?
It would be the moment I was sent back from my time to search for demons in your time.
Did you find any, bud?
Oh boy.
He looks at you with very narrow eyes, and he says,
Maybe.
Sick. I want to hear all about it. What do they look like?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Let me tell you about the demons.
Oh boy.
They are all around us. Anyone and everything could be a demon. You must be very, very careful.
But how do you
No,
tell?
don't. He reached a natural stopping point. Don't egg him on. We'll be here for 6
I
cycles.
just want to know. Look, I want to know
There is
things.
a short 36-part process in identifying the demon, unless you are a mongrel, in which case it comes very naturally.
Morrissey, you know what? I think I still got some of that literature you gave me about 70 years ago.
he
your
pulls
time.
down a chart that's on
I got this.
projector
I got a smaller version of this. I'll just give it to these folks.
There's a bunch of boxes connected by lines.
With
Yeah.
that, Merkis falls backwards with his eyes rolling back into his head.
Oh no,
can I
I
do
want
a-
to catch Marcus.
Can I do a movement check to catch Merkis?
Yes, let's catch
Yeah,
Marcus.
you can all catch. Yeah, you can all successfully catch Merkis. Stephen Patrick Morrissey collects all of your empty glasses and says,
I think you've had enough.
Oh, calamaris.
Thank you, Morrissey. We'll take this little one to bed.
Oat, whenever you need something to do with your time, you are more than welcome to tend bar at Zona. I could use the break.
So the answer's yes, you can't give me a job?
you can't tell because they're so high up, but if you were like a foot and a half taller, you'd be able to see Morrissey slightly roll his eyes and go,
Yes.
Oh, Morrissey, thank you so much. You have no idea. This is such a huge help for me. I got a place to live. He winks at Combat. I got a job. He winks at Morrissey. I got a better job I'm more excited about. He winks at the gang. And everybody who remembers all the trouble I was in is dead. Everything's coming up. Oh,
Got a new lease on life, my friend. You know, they used to call that born again.
huh. I like the sound of that. Born again. That's me. Born again, Oat.
Oat born twice. Twice born Oat.
So, look, I'm just gonna cut straight with you. Since I know that you're kind of doing a secret mission here in the Cohen on Spin and everything, I also used to get up to a little, let's say, darker market than is strictly permissible in the polite societies of Spin and other locations, if you understand what I'm saying.
Quite clearly, yes.
So, if you were to need help, I don't want to say stealing anything, but I was known as quite the jackal in my day.
Nimble fingers can be quite the gift to a team such as ours.
That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. So, as you know, just because I'm an assistant, I am here at your discretion and pleasure. Do you need me? Come on by. I'll be right here, wiping glasses down and... Sorry, not to sound ungrateful, Morrissey, but please come get me. Please get me out of here. I want to go on adventures and make a lot of money with you.
Oh, believe us, we will be in touch.
And Beta hands out the key that she made for him. And also says, and you're going to need to check the chore chart when you get home. And believe me, the chores are not what you think they're going to be. I don't care if things are clean.
Give me one example of a chore.
You got to rearrange my diorama.
Okay.
I feel like it's almost like in the dioramas, it's almost like I'm experiencing it. If I act it out, sometimes we'll have to act out scenes.
This is going to be great. You're going to be a great roommate, I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Don't touch my papers.
You are now leaving Float City. Thanks for listening. If you want to support the show, get access to bonus one-off episodes, our bi-weekly post-episode chat show, Fun Chatty, and our Discord, head on over to patreon.com/Fun City Ventures. And of course, thanks to all of our current patrons for help keeping this ship afloat. We'd also love it if you told your pals about the show, shared it on social media, drew us some fan art, gave us a rating on iTunes, or just came by to say hey on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Bijan Steven, and I play Remy Tester on Float City. You can find me online on Twitter at Bijan Steven, BIJANSTEPHEN, on Twitch at the same name, and on Instagram at Bijan Cakes, BIJAN Cakes.
I'm Jen Della Vega. I play Merkis and Meldar. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Randwiches. That's the word sandwiches, but replace the S with an R.
This is Shannon Odell. I play Beta Combat. You can find me on social at Showdell.
Hello, this is Nick Gercio, and I play Lux on Fun City and Vynos on Float City. You could find me at Nicholas Gercio on Twitter and in Gercio on Instagram. You spell Gercio Guercio.
I'm Taylor Moore, and I play all the cool, interesting characters. You can follow me at taylor.biz.
My name is Mike Rugnetta. I am your GM, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rugnetta. You can find the show on Twitter and Instagram at Fun City Ventures. Float City is played in a soon-to-be-released system called Stillfleet, which you can find on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon at Stillfleet. This episode of Float City was recorded at various locations around Brooklyn, New York. It was produced, edited, and sound designed by me, Mike Rugnetta. Like the birds in their nest are ready for Pixlriffs, and sport no more seen on the darkening green. Fun City's music is by Sam Tyndall, who has just released a treasure trove of old work from his project ARP Line that I highly recommend. Find it on streaming services and at the link in the show notes. Remy's flute playing is by Jake Fridkiss. Our art is by Tess Stone. Our Discord mods are Olivia Goulin, Kit Pulliam, and Kestrel. And the voice of Artemis is Molly Templeton.